Hey guys, Horror Man back for another review. So today we're going to take a look at the brand new NECA Toys Friday the 13th Part 2 Ultimate figure. Now this figure comes in that standard Ultimate packaging you're pretty much used to at this point. You see you got this awesome Friday the 13th Part 2 like kind of a drawing cover that they had. And this is definitely a rare image, so very cool. You see Friday the 13th Part 2 on the bottom of the box, and it says the body count continues. On the side, just says Friday the 13th Part 2. You get a cool picture of Jason, NECA, and Real Toys logo. Same thing on the side of the box. And then on the back of the box, you get this little read-up of Friday the 13th Part 2. And then you just see some different pictures of Jason. And then there's a cool movie image of the Pamela Voorhees shrine. So pretty cool box art. Just on the top you get the Friday the 13th Part 2 logo. And then on the bottom you just see the credits for NECA, UPC code. And then when you open the box, it just has that Velcro seal like you see with pretty much all these Ultimate figures. Get this picture of the figure with the flame campfire here. And you can see the figure with a bunch of the accessories clearly displayed. So pretty cool looking. NECA has made a Part 2 Jason a long time ago. They made it for the Cult Classics line and also a box set, Friday the 13th Part 1 and 2. Alright, so once you cut the packaging, you go to open the box. Now I just want to say for minimum box collectors, just like all the other NECA Ultimate figures, you do get that little like hook to hang on the wall. So you just go ahead and open the box here. Alright, so once you open it up, you have the figure that's on the clear clamshell here, and you get all the different accessories all sealed up in their own different slots. You can see the interchangeable head and the Pamela Voorhees severed head, bunch of accessories. And then you also do get, again, like you get with most of the Ultimate NECA figures, you get a little backdrop. And it's just a cardboard piece, and then you see just like a forest background, so if you want to take some photos or something like that. So let's go ahead and get Jason out of all this packaging and take a closer look. Alright, so here's the Part 2 Jason out of the packaging, and I think he looks pretty good here. Now, unlike the original version made by NECA that was like the Cult Classics or box set version, this one features all different articulations. So you can see when he stands up straight, his arms are closer to his body, and he's not in any kind of pose. So just taking a closer look at the head sculpt, I think they've done a pretty nice job here. This is just the first mask, which is the sack mask, which he's famous for wearing in Part 2. You can see all the different wrinkles in the mask. He's got like a little bit of dirt around that hole in the mask, and of course you could see his eyeball pretty good. I think you can actually see his eye better in this version than the last one. He's got like a little string around the neck. You can see how it's tied off there. I like how it's all bunched up in the back because he does have hair, and it's kind of like wrinkled on the sides. So pretty cool looking mask. Now you do get another interchangeable head, which is the unmasked version. So let's go ahead and put that on. It's not too hard to swap these heads out. Just going to grab the head as firm as you can, pop it off. Now, what's interesting about this one is that they actually added a different peg system, which is more of the regular peg system for these Jason figures and most NECA figures. It just has the thinner hole with the long straight peg on the neck. And then it's the same with this one here, of course. So you just want to pop that in. Alright, and here is his unmasked head. And this looks pretty damn creepy. You know, he's got that mongoloid look to him like he's had with all the Friday 13th movies. He does have some pretty nice sculpting going on here. You can see the different lumps in his head. Now they've actually added more details in this one. The original was a little bit more plain throughout this section, but they've definitely done a little bit better with the paint. And he does have some pieces where it's like a rubber type of, or at least a pliable plastic, so you can actually move part of the hair. And then it's the same on this side. You can kind of lift part of the hair, and then you can even lift the back of the hair, and you can kind of see his ear and just like the back of his head. So really nice job on that hair. And then you can see the little stubble on his chin there. Got his one functioning eye and then his goofy eye there. So overall, pretty good, you know, likeness for the unmasked head sculpt. And I like the little teeth and the open mouth. He just kind of got this like kind of creepy look to him. He doesn't have, I mean, it's not like super scary, but he's just so deformed that I'm sure anybody would be scared of him. But I like how like this one side looks almost normal, and then this other side looks real freaky. So pretty nice job on the unmasked head sculpt. And then just looking at the details and the rest of the body, you see he's got this like flannel button-down shirt. And then he's got the classic like overalls. Got his regular pants. And I like the different like wear and tear and stains that they've given to the pants. With the boots, with the nicely done heels. 2 peg holes on the feet. So overall, pretty nice details on this figure. Now the biggest difference people will really notice with this Jason figure is definitely the articulation. So we'll go ahead and go over that right now. With the unmasked head, you can look down decently. You can kind of look up, but mainly just straight forward because the hair kind of hinders it just a little bit. You might be able to pull that back a little bit to get it higher up, but it doesn't look too far up. You can get some decent, you know, movement though. Look to the side, kind of lean his head around. So not too bad. You can move the arms all the way out, all the way down. Go up, back. You do have a single hinge elbow. He's got a decent range in the wrist. Turn it, whatever. Now what's nice about this, you actually do get an well, not an ab crunch, but you have some kind of waist articulation here, so he can actually move his body. Now the coveralls kind of move as well, because they are actually like a separate, softer piece. But you can move his body, and I guess you can get just a little bit of a crunch going. And you can look back a little bit. And then you do have pretty good movement at the legs. You go pretty far forward. Single joint at the knee. Leg can also go far backward. And then the feet can go down and up. And a little bit of ankle pivot there as well. All right, so overall, pretty good articulation. You just have to kind of adjust this, the you know, overalls after you kind of mess with the articulation a bit. But compared to the original Part 2 Jason, this is a huge step up. And he does seem to stand pretty well. Now, even though he does have a lot more articulation, they haven't really done much to fix the articulation with the sack masked head. You could really only go left to right a little bit and barely move it up and back. All right, so you also get a pretty good amount of accessories. Now, some of these are just basically the ones we've kind of seen before with the cult classics and box set versions of Jason, but some of these are also new. So you're going to get the pitchfork, which is really nice. Now, this is different than the one you got with the Part 3. This one actually has a little bit of a handle and the blades a little bit different. You get the pitchfork, you get the spear. Now, all these are weapons that we've kind of seen before with previous releases. But the new things you get are the kitchen knife, this angled machete, and the campfire. Now, the campfire accessory is a 2-piece construction, and I really like the effect here. You can see the different rocks that are stacked around the wood in the center, and then the flames, and you can see how the flames kind of pass through all the different logs. Now what you do is just kind of lift this off, and you can see that it's got like just different pieces that kind of just fit perfectly around these logs. Now besides that, the newer accessories, you can see this angled machete, and I really like how they've done this with the blood kind of sloshing around the blade there. And it's got like kind of an old aged look to it. And you also have this kind of dirty kitchen knife. And then just like the classic weapons, you got the pitchfork, a little bit of blood on it. Again, a little bit of more of like an aged look to the blade. Have the pitchfork, which is one of my favorites. Got some like kind of age to this one as well. And again, you do have a handle on here, which is different than the part 3. And then the final weapon is just this spear. And then the spear is kind of famous, kind of goes along with that campfire. It's the first time we saw the spear, and they were kind of telling the story of Jason. And then one of the kids kind of jumps out with a goofy mask on and holding this spear. Now the part 2 Jason does not come with any interchangeable hands, but both of them are in a open, like gripping pose, so you're able to kind of hold any of the weapons in either hand. So you can see he's got the knife in his right hand, and then the curved machete in his left hand. And one thing worth noting about the right hand, I really like the little touch of blood added to that, and it really goes along with some of the weapons that are already kind of bloody and dirty. So it gives it a little bit more of that horror feel to them. But the hands are nice and flexible, so you can kind of bend it enough to fit these weapons in. And you should be able to get Jason in some two-handed poses. Here he is holding the pitchfork. And then here he is with the pickaxe. And then finally here he is holding the spear. The final accessory comes with is the severed head of Pamela Voorhees. And I think they've done a really nice job with this. We've seen this actually released a few times in the box set, the Cult Classics figure. And we also saw it with the second version of the NES Jason. But I think this paint job particularly they've done the best with. It's got a little bit more kind of a gore factor going on, and you can really see like the neck and like little severed pieces here for the neck here. So it's pretty gruesome looking. But again, I think they've done a really nice job with this. Now, unfortunately, you really don't get anything to really display this on. So with the NES one, at least you got the stand. So with this, it's just going to have to kind of sit on something. So for the first comparison, here he is with the Part 2 Mego version of Jason. And you can see these are much different figures. And here he is next to the Part 3 Jason. And here he is next to the 2009 remake version of Jason. You can see he's just maybe a little bit taller. He's almost the same size. And here he is next to the Part 1 Freddy Krueger figure. And here he is next to some classic NECA figures. You have the Mirage Comics Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then you have the Resident Evil 4 Leon Kennedy in his RPD uniform. And here he is next to some various Friday the 13th accessory pieces. You have the Camp Crystal Lake sign from the Friday the 13th accessory pack made by NECA. You have the Jason Voorhees gravestone, also made by NECA, that came with the Part 6 figure. This is actually the Mezco Pamela Voorhees gravestone, but NECA also made one of these. And then here's the fire pit that came with Part 2, along with the Pamela Voorhees severed head. Now they've actually made some other accessories. I do have the original Part 2 box set, Part 1 and 2 box set, but it's still unopened, so I don't have any of those to show you. But there is an actual mural for Pamela Voorhees, which had like the severed head, just a full display from Part 2. But that was only available with that box set. But overall, really cool to see all these accessories for Friday the 13th. And here he is with the backdrop. It's a little subtle. You really can't see the details quite as well as some of the other NECA backdrops you get, but it's still cool they included it. Alright, so that's my review of the NECA Toys Ultimate Friday the 13th Part 2 Jason. And I'm pretty happy with this figure. It's a huge improvement over the original. If you remember the original figure, you really didn't have any articulation except the arms, head, and the hands. So having this range of motion on a Part 2 figure is just awesome. You definitely get a lot of reused parts here, like the head sculpts, the Jason Voorhees head, and several weapons. But it is nice that they added the kitchen knife, the machete, and the campfire to this set. So you do get some new items here, not just articulation. If I had one improvement that I'd like, I do wish it came with a fabric mask. So not to like take out the sculpted mask, I just wish it had a fabric mask as an accessory, or just something different to maybe try putting on the unmasked head to give him like a little bit different look than what we've seen from NECA Toys Part 2 Jason before, at least in this 7-inch scale format. So if you look at the Part 2 Jason on the side of the box, it actually doesn't look like the figure because you have a sack mask, like a fabric mask on him. And most of these images from the sides of the box have been the figure. So it's been really nice to see them try to do something to kind of replicate this look. But overall, it's a great figure, especially for the price. You'd probably expect to pay around $25, maybe a little bit more. I got this from NECA's eBay, so I paid just a little bit more because of the shipping. You can find it on NECA's eBay, Amazon, and it should be in stores really soon. It's got a great looking box. I love this cover art. It's not something that you see all the time with Part 2 Jason. So definitely an awesome figure. If you've been collecting the Friday the 13th line, highly recommend this one. Thanks for watching my review. Please like the video, please subscribe, leave a comment or question if you have one, and until next time guys, see ya.